Alright, peace to the true ones. I want to make this video because I want people to know that it's very important to be connected with, in tune with, tapped in, rooted in nature. It is very, very important to do that and to let go of all fears that you've ever had. You can't have any fear or any sorrow. Okay? It's important. And on your journey, it's important for you to spend a little bit of time in nature alone. You know what I mean? By yourself. Nobody else. Look at the rocks, the pohakus. That's rock in Hawaiian, pohakus. Rocks are living. Look at the faces. They're alive. This waterfall, in fact, it there's a place leading up to this waterfall where fairies live, and I'm not going to tell the name of this waterfall because I don't want people going to go look for the fairies. But it's a place where fairies live at, really close to this waterfall. Hawaii is such a magical place. This whole planet is, but Hawaii is very, 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 very magical. Their magic is on a whole nother level, yo. It's like living in a whole nother universe in Hawaii, yo. And like they've been outside of time. You know what I mean? They operate on a whole nother dimension of time. Everything is slow. Take it easy. You know what I mean? And that's what the world is going through right now. They're adjusting to it not being time because time was sped up and then it's like boom, it stopped. Like so, it's like I don't know, a shocking reality. Really, it's a shockwave. And that's crazy because I was just looking at some of my old videos on Facebook. Well, they're not even really that old. They happened in December last year when time stopped, and how they explained it as a shockwave. And I told everybody 7 days before time stopped that time had stopped, and that a sonic boom was coming. It's gonna cause a shockwave, and I have proof of that because around that time. And guess what day it happened? The day it was completed was December 21st, 2021. You know what I mean? That's when time officially stopped. And that's the same time that the Mayans predicted time would stop. It wasn't 2012, it was 2021. And I know this to be fact because when I stopped time, the Mayans were there. We know the Mayans as the time bandits. The time, like, when they found out time was going to stop, that's why they disappeared. They went somewhere else. They've been hopping time ever since they figured out how to hop time, and they hopped time all the way to the end of time, and they saw me stopping time. That's why they wrote that on the wall, and then they disappeared. That's why they wrote it in their hieroglyphs and shit that time would stop on that date, and then they disappeared because they figured out how to jump time and go wherever they wanted to. They the time bandits, man. They've been hopping time for thousands of years now. Oh yeah, but y'all go see the Mayans again very, very soon. All right, shit. If y'all ain't already seen them in the sky, shit, everybody in the sky. But anyway, I want to get back to being rooted in nature, man. I had to let go of all fear, man, and I had to go on a journey. Like off and on, I was in nature. You know what I mean? Off and on, I was in nature, living in nature, getting rooted. No, you get a call to let everything go. Like you have to give everything up in order to gain everything that you truly want and need and desire. You have to do a self-sacrifice. And spirit sends you on this journey. It's like an initiation into your higher self. You know what I mean? That's what I'm gonna call this video. Initiation to your higher self. Like spirit send you on this journey. Just you and great spirit alone. And like off and on from 2012 until 2014, like I was living in nature, but I wasn't fully disconnected until the summer of 2014. It was July 9th was the date that I went fully into nature by myself. No companionship, nothing, no wife, no. I gave my puppy away to a family. Well, actually, he chose the family, and me and him used to, me and my puppy Lover. I might have a picture of him somewhere in here. Let me see. I might have a picture. Hold on, of my puppy. Yeah, here you go. My friend holding him. We used to mentor children together. You know what I mean? He came to me. He was really sick. He almost died, and I had to cure his parvo. And he had a real big parasite in his body. And after I cured him, after I healed him of his parvo, and we got the parasite out, me and him, we went on a mission together. This is Anubis right here. He was Anubis. He almost died. And when he came to me, his owners, they named him Kamehameha, and that means the lonely one. And I named him Lover, so I call him the Lonely Lover. But if you know who Kamehameha was, he was the king that united the islands. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's what they had named him. But I changed his name to Lover. But this is Anubis right here. That's him. And we mentored some children before I went into nature permanently. But so I had to give him up. I had to give up. I had to give up everything, yo. I had to give up everything, man, to gain everything. All the way down to all I had was the clothes on my back, yo. That's all I had at one point was the clothes on my back. And you have to be serious because some people think you don't need to go on that journey like that. But it's like if you don't go on a journey and you let go, because you have to be focused on nature and listening. You have to get rooted and grounded in it. Like you have to feel the heartbeat of the earth again in your own body. Like you have to feel, you have to hear, you have to know what's going on. You have to actually be in relationship of reciprocity with Great Spirit, yo. If you want to do stuff like this, you know what I mean? People want to unlock their power, but they just want to give it to they want it given to them. You have to work. You have to give up stuff. Look at this. This kind of stuff be happening outside of my house. Okay, I catch a lot of shit outside of my house. Okay, I catch all kinds of stuff outside of my house. You know what I mean? That was one of my birthdays, my last normal birthday anyway. It's gonna be my baby. Yeah, yeah. Look at this. This outside of my house. If you want this kind of stuff, if you want to be a part of that kind of stuff, you have to give stuff up. But I went and yeah, man. You have to give up your old life to gain the life that you want. You have to give up the old stuff in order to get the new stuff. If you want stuff to change in your life, like a big change in your life, you have to give things up. You have to clean your eyeballs off. You know what I mean? And it's a ritual that comes with doing that. You have to do this on a regular basis. I had to wake up at 4 in the morning. I had to wake up at 4 in the morning every morning. From when? From, let me see, August, September, October, November. For 4 months straight. I had to wake up every morning at 4 o'clock in the morning and go down to the ocean and do my womb work from 4 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock in the morning. Down by the ocean, doing my energy work, whacking the energy in, pulling the dirt off my eyes, rinsing my hands off in the water, because like your fingers and stuff, they represent your eyeballs. So it's like rinsing off your eyes. It's like rinsing the dirt off your eyes. Like all that dirt that you rinsed off your eyes, it goes down your hands. And you have to like ground it out somewhere or wash it off. So I would ground it out and wash it off in the ocean water. That's how I would rinse my eyeballs off. And then I would keep whacking in energy around me into where I took the dirt off at. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was a process. I did that for 3 hours straight for 4 months. You know what I mean? And for 7 months straight, it was just me in the wilderness until the CIA had me arrested. And then I was in jail for 6 months without no name, and my mom had to send a friend of mine to get me out of jail. And at this point, my wife was already invisible with me because she had to start healing me because I had got fucked up. But anyway, I gained all my power back and was able to do stuff like this, all because I was diligent and stayed in nature and grounded myself out and listened and did my energy work. I stayed diligent. I stayed dedicated. I stayed focused. You know what I mean? All while the CIA was on my back. You know what I mean? But everything was in divine timing. You know what I mean? They was gonna keep me in that jail until my mom, cause I was in there with no name for 6 months, cause I know the law. Um, the United States is a corporation unlawfully acting as a government and does not have jurisdiction over I, myself, or the land. And I left it at that. I ain't saying nothing else. And I told them they ain't got no right to judge me. I'm the judge. You know what I mean? And well, they kept me in jail for 6 months, and then from then they sent me to a mental hospital because if you don't they everything they did was illegal. It was all to get me. It was like a trap. They trapped me, but it had a time limit on it because my mom had sent some people up there to check on me. You know what I mean? To file a missing person report. So now somebody's looking for me. So they eventually had to let me go. But they made it look like they made it look a certain way. And then like everything they even tried to charge me with was like living like on a beach or something that had to do with living on a beach. They had to drop everything and let me go. You know what I mean? But they had it was a process. They from the, being in jail from 6 months and then having to go live in a hospital for a little while they straighten everything out with the court, because I still refuse to participate in court. I never said nothing ever. And when you do stuff like that and you stand on your rights, that's what they do to you. They try and make you look crazy. You know what I mean? They go try and keep me in that bitch forever. Shit. And now they can't touch me at all. They can't touch me. They can't do nothing to me at all now. It's over with for all that. It's over with. But yeah, you have to stay in your ground, and I'm glad I ended up telling that story because this shit crazy right here, ain't it? I'm glad I ended up telling that story because um a part of accessing these types of powers within yourself is getting rid of fear. And me actually jumping off of that waterfall helped me to get rid of any fear. I don't fear nothing or nobody. Y'all know me, how many cops I physically been fighting. I've been fighting cops. All of this is in the book of Revelations. I've been actually fighting. Like when they talk about Michael and the angels fighting the dragon, it's really me fighting because I was in St. Thomas Hospital. I was fighting my nurse named Michael, and they, the saints in the Bible, the saints is the angels. You know what I mean? So they work at St. Thomas Hospital. So the Bible was like telling you a story, but in a backwards way. There are archangels named Michael and shit like that, but that's not who I was fighting. I was fighting some nurses and technicians. This nurse named Michael and all of his technicians, and then all these police that came. Everybody that worked for St. Thomas Hospital was considered a saint in that actual verse of Revelations when I was fighting them angels. When the dragon got knocked down, really, I knocked down all of them, and we all fell on the ground. It was like 10, 15 people, including the police. Everybody fell at the same time, and like they was scared as fuck. And then like the other patients, because I was already, they already had to segregate me because of the way I came in there. It was crazy the way I came in there. Because this is the story about me opening the bottomless pit. All right, I already told the story in the video. But anyway, when I was in a hospital like that, they had to segregate me because I was dangerous to them. So the other so-called dangerous patients that was on that side of the hospital, they was watching, and then so like at breakfast or whatever was the next meal time, they was like, man, that was crazy. They was like, you karate kicked that dude in the stomach, you fell on it. Like, I have no recollection of kicking a man in the stomach and him falling. I just know everybody fell on the motherfucking ground. I don't know how everybody fell on the ground at the same time, but I know the motherfucker Michael was trying to take my blood pressure, and the machine was squeezing my arm way too tight. And next thing you know, I'm standing up, and all I did was tap the lady with my finger because it was him and another lady. I tapped her with my finger, like move and out my way. Cause I was over it. Like I didn't want to stay in the hospital for real, real. I'm like, man, I don't want to be in this bitch. So I moved the lady out my way. Next thing you know, everybody got all hostile. And then next thing you know, I'm grabbing Michael by his collar, and I pushed him to the ground. And then all these other nurses and technicians and police came. And then next thing you know, my case manager. That's who I kicked in the stomach. In front, I kicked my case manager in the stomach. With his big ass. And that's who it was. And he fell on the ground. Like, next you know, everybody, including me, was on the motherfucking ground. But being in nature and having these people follow me and shit like that, all up in the woods, I had the Department of Land and Natural Resources and Tahoes and guns and cameras follow me all in the woods and shit. It was crazy, yo. It was crazy, man. Pulling out their badges and shit with they guns and they cameras. Trying to identify me. But no, man, like it's been a journey, but me being grounded in nature is what made me strong enough and knowing and brought my powers up and made me power. It make you nature gives you the strength to be able to fight the evil in this world properly. I'll leave it like that. It all starts with nature, man. You have to get in tune with the elements again and tapped in and connected. Not only that, but just connected. And you need to sit in the dirt. You know what I mean? You need to sit in the sand. You need to sit in the mud, man. You need to sit in the grass. You need to sit in the ground. You need to bury your feet in it. You need to go and apologize. You need to lay in the rain on the ground, like to be cleansed. Like you need to be one and not be afraid of outside. It's important to be outside in nature and getting in tune. No matter what. No, don't let nobody think that you have to go around that part to truly understand what and who you are and how to use your magic. Nature is the best teacher. Nature is the teacher that's going to teach you correctly. That's who you should go to first. Because spirit is always there in nature. If you ever feel like you can't find spirit, you have to go to nature then. You have to go and talk to the trees. That's where you need to go. That's where you need to be to get it. You know, so if a motherfucker tell you you don't need nature to get far in your spiritual journey, yes you do. You need to get barefooted at one point in time. I was under super ritual where the night marchers in Hawaii had me barefooted to get initiated to even walk on that land and learn who I was. Because I had to get connected to the Aina, to the land, to learn everything about me and how to unlock the power within me. And when you have to ask for that journey, you have to ask for it and be sincere and ask to be the truth. I ask to be the truth in every way possible, all the time, and to be guided and to be protected in all my endeavors. Let me be the truth. So you can't skip that part. So I know I went all over the place, but it was needed. I think so. I thought it was important to come back to this. Definitely think that it's important to come back to this and remind people that you definitely have to let go of your fears to move forward. Because if you don't, you're going to get stuck. And don't be afraid to be immersed in the unknown. You have to go, if you have to go and sit in the darkness, just to, not the darkness, but the blackness, because people confuse the two. Darkness is evil, blackness is the blackness. The duat, the primordial source, the blackness, which everything comes from. If you have to go sit in the blackness in the middle of the woods at midnight with no moon, that's what you need to go do. You need to go and sit in that blackness and lay on the ground and let all those noises around you consume you and just sitting there and don't and just let it be there all night until the sun comes up and the light breaks, so you can get rid of your fears. Whatever bump in the night you hear, you let it go by. And you let go of fear. And you talk to that sound and tell them that you come in peace if you're afraid of what it might be. I don't know. Everybody got to get rid of their fear, quickly too, because there's a lot of shit people finna see that's gonna fuck them up. Because it's time to get the fuck up out of here. And, fear is nothing but a hindrance that holds you down and keeps you from rising. With that being said, no more fear. Let it go. Peace to the true ones.